Hey, this is Mike Addis. Thanks for joining us. It's always our pleasure to bring you these videos. So today we're going to talk about the opposite is true, meaning most of the things you hear out there are not true. It's usually the opposite. Two of my best stock returns for 2020 were General Motors, GM, and Ford, symbol F. GM is up 79% on the year for me, and Ford up 76.62% in my portfolio. I bought both stocks at $4.43 for Ford, now $7.73, and GM at $19.29, up to $34.53. Who would have thought that buying into two of our oldest and largest automobile companies, which have a market capitalization far below Tesla, would have such breakneck returns? Buying these two old car companies during the worst pandemic in the history of the country didn't seem like a good idea, and most people said it would not be. The opposite of what people say concerning these two companies was true. And that's when I decided to buy them, because when everyone else is saying a certain thing, that's the time to look at the opposite. The same goes for my FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. Except for Netflix, I didn't buy any of that one. Just before COVID hit, people were saying, hey, don't buy into the FANG stocks. It's over for them. No more high-tech big companies. The absolute opposite was true. And not only that, I also included Alibaba and Microsoft for a year-to-date return of over 50% on those stocks. What does this tell you about investing? It tells you not to listen to other people. My favorite saying is Warren Buffett's, be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. And man, that sums it up for me. The opposite was true when it came to investing in these stocks. California is now on the chopping block. Guys like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and Ben Shapiro are all saying to leave the state. In my opinion, the opposite is true. Why would I want to leave a state with the best weather in the country, although the government isn't my favorite and it's very high taxes? I live close to the ocean and a lifestyle that I can't get anywhere in the United States and anywhere in the world. Back in 1985, everyone said the computer industry was a service industry and that the software and hardware industry would make people millionaires. The opposite was true. The computer industry, in my opinion, was nothing more than a commodity industry, pretty much based on the same concepts as the automobile industry, where I had spent 10 years. Computers, in my opinion, would die off, and there would only be 3 or 4 big manufacturers, which there are today. Apple, Dell, Lenovo. I can't even think of the fourth one. I did the opposite of people were telling me back then. My whole life, I've listened to people and pundits tell me what was the right way to go, and I found out that the opposite was almost always true. Keep your job, don't quit. I left my job. I left a $160,000 a year job to go to work for myself. And guess what? In my first month, I brought in $67,000 in income. In the second month, $87,000. And in my third month, over $100,000. That was more than I was making in a whole year. I did the opposite. Too often people sit back and go along with the crowd. In the stock market, they call it the herd mentality, as the herd follows the leader and ends up going over the cliff. Don't listen to what other people have to say, because oftentimes they are wrong. Most people tell you things based on a belief system they heard from someone else and carry that belief system right over the cliff. When you see an opportunity, look at the numbers. Make a calculated estimate of the outcome based on the facts. Then take action and make that move today. The worst that can happen is you will have learned about what not to do, but at least you'll know what's true. Make decisions on what you think, which are almost always the opposite of what other people have to say. The opposite is true. This is Mike Addis. Thanks for joining us on this video. It's always our pleasure. Don't forget to hit the subscriber button. Please comment. And check out our blog at Maddis Cash, that's M-A-D-D-I-S cash.com. And you can read all about this in lengthy articles. Thanks again. See you in the next video.